sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namami Buddham Gunasagarantam Santa Sada Huntu Sukhiya Vera Kayo Jiguncho Sakalo Dugandho Ganchanti Sambe Maranang Ahanche Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Sambe Santa Bhavantu Sukhitanta. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, all of you are warmly welcome. Here now we are going to explain some kind of Buddhist doctrines. First of all, every Tuesday we practice sitting meditation. After that we have 1 hour session, Dhamma discussion. That is also very important. According to Buddhism, knowledge is very important. Knowledge and practice, both of them are very important. Why is that? When you go to a place when you never have been to, first of all, you know the place where you are going to. You need to know the address where you are going to. Like that, Buddhism always emphasizes the importance of knowledge, that what we practice, where we are going to, what is the destination. That is very important. When we discuss Buddhism, it is very important to understand vision and mission. Have you heard about vision and mission? Every institute, every place, every country, every individual person also should have vision and mission as well. Both of them are very important. Vision and mission. Here we are going to discuss Buddhist vision and Buddhist mission. What is the Buddhist vision? Buddhist vision, in short, is that getting rid of suffering. That is the main purpose of Buddhist doctrines. For that, we should have clear vision before we start our spiritual journey. Buddhist vision can be divided into two. Buddhist vision and also mission can be divided into two. What they are? Mr. Pranando, do you remember? Yes, the first step of vision in Buddhism is that understanding the karmic law, action and reaction. Understanding the karmic law. Whatever we do with intention, according to our mental condition, we will have same results. If we do something with a wicked mind, we will have negative results. The next one, if we do something with a pure mind, verbally, physically or mentally, we will have fruitful results because of pure mind. This is the first vision that we should have. If we have this understanding, we always try to keep our mind pure and calm. Because if our mind is polluted, we will have negative results, bad results. That is why we always keep our mind pure, calm and present. That is the first thing, understanding the karmic law. The results not only come hereafter, but in this immediate life, according to our activities, according to our mental condition, we have to face good or bad results. That is the first understanding. The second one, what is the second vision in Buddhism? The second vision in Buddhism is that understanding the dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada, understanding the arising and ceasing of suffering, the nature of suffering, how suffering arises and how suffering ceases. That is the second understanding, understanding the dependent origination. This is very important. Among both of them, in other religions also we can see karmic law. They explain the good karmas, and also some of them have explained the next life too. It is common thing. It's not a special thing in Buddhism, but here, this is the very special thing. This is the unique in Buddhism. Little by little, we are going to explain it. According to our vision, we practice our mission. Mission means whatever we do to achieve the vision. Vision means our point of view. Mission means our activities, what we do to achieve the vision. Vision without mission is useless. And also, mission without vision is blind. Therefore, both of them are very important. What is the Buddhist mission in the first level? According to the understanding of the karmic law, we always practice good deeds, meritorious deeds. According to Buddhism, in the mundane level, we practice 3 meritorious deeds. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Dana means generosity, sharing something with others, giving something to others. Sila means virtue or moral conduct. Bhavana means meditation. Practicing generosity, virtue and meditation is the Buddhist mission in the first level, mundane level. Okay? The second one, the second mission in Buddhism is that according to the understanding of the dependent origination, we practice 3 disciplines. They are Sila, Samadhi, Panya, virtue, concentration and wisdom. This is the mission in the second level, in the supramundane level, according to Buddhism. When we are going to understand what Buddhism says, understanding this vision and mission is very important. Usually, people who practice Buddhism, they know only these two things, that vision and mission. For example, when we ask someone what Buddhism is, mostly they say Buddhism is karma, karmic law, doing good deeds, and we go here and there, again and again, we have rebirth, and therefore we should do good deeds. Usually people say that, but it is not a complete answer about what Buddhism is. The unique in Buddhism is these two things, that understanding the dependent origination and practicing three disciplines, with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. Here we describe it in short. Okay? When we discuss Buddha's message, Buddha says very clearly, his message is like the ocean. The ocean, the sea, deepens gradually. Buddha's message also like that. It deepens little by little. According to our wisdom, according to our courage and dedication, we can understand and we can practice it. Here, it is very important to understand the gradual path in Buddhism. Buddhism has a gradual path. It is one of the natures of Buddhism. The very first level, Buddhism says what we should practice. If we want to succeed this immediate life, we have to practice something. According to Buddhism, there are 5 things that we should practice to succeed this immediate life. If we can understand it, that is very important to our life. The very first thing is education. We should go forward in education little by little if we want to succeed this immediate life. Knowledge is wealth. The more you have knowledge, the more you earn money. Therefore, it is very important to go forward in education if you want to succeed this immediate life. The second one, according to our education, we succeed in economy, employment. That is also very important. The third one, what is the third one? Yes, the third one is health. Health is also very important. Health is wealth. And not only physical health, but we should have mental health too. Both of them are very important. In the current society, the biggest problem is that mental illness. Therefore, in this situation, both mental and physical health are very important. Third one, moral conduct. We should have a moral life, good discipline in our speech and behavior. Even though we were born alone, even though we die alone, we have to live in this society with many people. In this situation, we should have good discipline in our speech and behavior. That is also very important. For that, Buddhism has emphasized the importance of practicing five precepts. Abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs, causing heedlessness. These 5 things are very important as a moral life. That is the foundation of human qualities. What is the fifth one? If you want to succeed this immediate life, you should have a good friend. Good friendship. That is also very important. It doesn't mean that we should have a physical person face to face. Sometimes our good friends we meet in internet. Sometimes we can't meet them face to face, but they are in our friend list. When we search Google and internet, we can meet a lot of good friends. And also sometimes when we read a book, that book may be a friend. In these 5 areas, good friendship, we should be successful. If you want to succeed this immediate life, we should succeed in these 5 areas. According to Buddhism, there are a lot of teachings that we can see how we succeed in these 5 areas. That is the very first level. The second one, how we succeed our life in the second level. Here, with the understanding of the karmic law, we practice 3 meritorious deeds. What they are, as we mentioned before, practicing generosity, virtue and meditation. These things are very important. The more we practice meritorious deeds, the more we gain happiness. When we are generous, when we practice loving kindness, when we have moral conduct by practicing 5 precepts, then we can succeed our life. Not only this life, hereafter also we can succeed. This is also very important. Next, Buddha says how we succeed our life to the maximum level. Here it is very important to understand the dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada in Buddhism. With that understanding, we practice 3 disciplines as we mentioned before. They are virtue and concentration and wisdom. This is like a bachelor degree or first degree. This is like master degree. This is like doctorate. Little by little we can go forward. If we are skillful, if we are wise, we can go forward day by day. Here knowledge is very important. Knowledge guides us to go forward day by day. And the final goal of Buddhist teachings is to point out how we overcome suffering. That is the highest doctrine in Buddhism. How suffering arises, how we overcome suffering. Whenever we are suffering, it means we are living in the past experience or we are in the future experience. When we are in the present moment with mindfulness, actually we have no problems. That is why in the highest level, Buddha has explained the importance of practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the highest quality that Buddha has explained to overcome suffering completely. This is the Buddhist path. Now I think you can get an idea what we should do too. Here in this handout, according to handout that you are given, this is the thing that we are going to explain today, the great wholesomeness in Buddhism. Buddha's message is well expounded, visible results, immediately effective, all in one to come and see, leading onwards to be personally realized by the wise. In short, The entire Buddhism is the path how we purify our mind. Our success depends on our happiness. Our happiness depends on how far we have purified our mind from negative thoughts. Here, it is very important to understand what are the negative thoughts, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. According to Buddhism, there are 1,500 negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. How many? 1,500 negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. Those are the real enemies. We usually think that enemies are outside. Actually, our real enemies are not outside, they are inside with our mind. All of them can be included into three defilements. There are three main unwholesome mental states. They are lobha or greed, dosa means anger, moha means delusion. These are the three unwholesome mental states. Whenever we are unhappy, whenever we are suffering, it means these three negative thoughts are in our mind, especially ignorance or delusion. If we want to overcome suffering, if we want to achieve the real happiness, liberation, we have to overcome, reduce these negative thoughts little by little. Our success depends on our happiness. Our happiness depends on how far we have reduced, we have overcome these three negative thoughts. We can practice some qualities as primary level and secondary level when we are going to reduce these negative thoughts. In the primary level, when we are going to overcome greed or lust, Buddhism has emphasized some techniques. Firstly, Buddha has explained the importance of practicing generosity to overcome greed. That is why in three meritorious deeds, practicing generosity is emphasized, giving something to others with a pure mind. That is the very first meritorious act that we practice to overcome greed. Greed is one of the main defilements that disturb our peace of mind. When we are going to reduce greed, we should practice generosity. Not only greed, but sometimes we have lustful desire. When we meet a person, suddenly our lustful desire arises. For that, Buddhism has explained the technique to practice. What is that? Asubha Bhavana, the meditation of the impurity of our body parts. There are 32 body parts in our body, like hair, skin, blood, these are the things. Nail, these are the things which consist with our body. If we can separate these things one by one mentally, then gradually we can overcome lustful desire. These are the primary techniques. When we go to the deeper level, we have a direct solution. But these techniques are very important in the mundane level, in the surface level. The second one is Anger. Anger is one of the main reasons that we suffer. If we are angry, actually, even though we are very rich, even though we are very beautiful, even though we are well educated, we have no inner peace when we are angry. That is why Buddha says, he who wants to achieve the peace of mind should have to practice loving kindness, thinking thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again, we have to think about it. As the result of practicing loving kindness, as soon as we remember a person, we think that person like my only son or daughter. That is the highest attitude of practicing loving kindness. Here, especially we are going to discuss the great wholesomeness in Buddhism. I want to explain the highest wholesomenesses in Buddhism. I have given two things, that one of them is practicing loving kindness. Practicing loving kindness is one of the wholesomenesses in Buddhism. In the mundane level. Why is that? Mundane level means still we are in the samsaric circle. Buddhist doctrines can be divided into two. One of them is that related to this life or in the samsaric circle. It says as the path of heaven, the heavenly path. Here, Buddhism has explained there are some actions. Atti bhikkhave kamman sukkhaṃ sukha vipākaṃ. There are some actions which are wide, that consequences, wide results. That is very important. With the pure mind, if we generate positive thoughts, that belongs to wide actions. What are the wide actions that Buddha says? Generosity, virtue and loving kindness. Among these three meritorious deeds in the mundane level, practicing loving kindness is the highest wholesomeness. Why is that? When we practice loving kindness, our spirituality increases to the maximum level in the mundane level. If you can practice loving kindness, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful at least 5 minutes for a day. You can see the beauty of your mind. It influences your entire life. Whatever we do in your day-to-day life, you can see the results if you practice loving kindness. You can see the visible results. Practicing loving kindness is the highest quality in the mundane level, in the samsaric circle. Here we think there are some people outside. It is not bad in the primary level, but when we go to the deeper level, our attitude gradually changes. Our point of view changes. However, in the mundane level, the highest wholesomeness is that practicing loving kindness. You know, when we read some research papers of psychiatrists in 4 or 5 decades, last 4 or 5 decades, they have recommended to practice loving kindness for stress management. Even though they don't know Buddhism, even though they don't practice Buddhism, they recommend to practice loving kindness to stress management. Why is that? We mostly suffer because of anger. If we are able to overcome anger, we can overcome more than 50% stress from our mind. Usually, our problems, mental illnesses, start because of anger. If we can overcome anger, actually we can see the beauty of our life. That is why very first level wholesomeness in Buddhism is that practicing loving kindness, metta bhavana, thinking that may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings at home, may all beings in this city, may all beings in this county, state, country, continent, planet, solar system, galaxy, universe, may all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again, we think, we contemplate on loving kindness. As the result of practicing loving kindness, we don't stop in loving kindness. We have another 3 mental states, sublime states. What they are? When we practice loving kindness, automatically compassion increases. Not only that, sympathetic joy, the opposite of jealousy, that gradually increases, and also equanimity, upekha. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekha. Loving kindness and compassion, sympathetic joy and equanimity. These are the 4 sublime states that the Brahma lives with. In the Brahma realm, the Brahmas, divine persons, live with these 4 sublime states. Buddhism has pointed out to live like a Brahma. Even though we are human beings physically, if we can change our attitude and if we can practice our spirituality, if we can purify our mind, then we can live like a God, like a Brahma, mentally. Physically, we are human beings, but mentally, we are Brahmas, we are divine beings. Usually we think that we can achieve the heaven after we die. But the interesting thing in Buddhism is that if we practice this path, we can make a heaven in this immediate life. How nice. For that, Buddhism has emphasized the importance of practicing loving kindness. Again and again, we have to practice it. Again and again, we have to increase the duration of practicing loving kindness day by day. Then we can see the success in our spirituality day by day. That mental state influences our entire life, our education, our association, our health. It influences everything in our life. Practicing loving kindness is the very first step in wholesomeness in Buddhism, in the mundane level. Still, we are discussing the qualities in the mundane level with the samsaric circle. Now, we are going to enter another level, another state in Buddhism. Why is that? Even though we practice generosity, loving kindness, virtue, we are still in ignorance, delusion. What is the delusion? What is the delusion? Delusion can be explained in various ways. One of them is that when we experience something through our senses, we may think that there is something outside, and that thing which is outside can be experienced by everyone in the same way. When we experience this wall, we may think that every person, this is a wall. It is true only in the mundane level. When we go to the supramundane level, in the absolute truth, this wall is only for my world. When there is another being here, this is not a wall for him. This is a whiteboard for my world. This is the chair for my world. When there is some ant, this is not a chair for him. This is a food for him sometime. This is a monk, or this is a son of my parents. But if there is a lion here, this is not a son for him. This is a diet for him. The experience that we receive, it belongs to our world. That experience also different from moment to moment. Now you are pleasant with me because my words are very sweet and because my behavior is very pleasant. Now you are very pleasant with me. But if you blamed me, if I blamed you, suddenly your attitude changes. Then you may get angry. According to your present mental condition, your senses immediately change. Eye, ear, nose, these senses are impermanent. Impermanence means they change immediately according to our present mental condition, according to our point of view. This is the nature of our life. And also, on the other side, we think that when we experience something, it was here before we experience, after we experience, it remains. This is also one of the delusions. Why is that? In the mundane level, according to conventional truth, it is true, but according to ultimate truth, absolute truth, whatever we experience, those things arise at the moment. Like this sound. When you hear this sound was not here before you heard. After you hear this sound doesn't remain. Our all experiences that we receive through our six senses are also like that. Our eye is impermanent, forms are impermanent, ear is impermanent, sounds are impermanent, nose is impermanent, smell is impermanent, our tongue, everything. These are impermanent. Impermanence means they arise at the moment, they immediately cease at the moment. This is the nature of our entire life. But our worst enemy, who is that? Delusion. That delusion doesn't believe it. Delusion is the worst enemy, worst defilement, worst negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. That delusion doesn't believe this nature. He says that before you experience there was something, after you experience it remains. That is why when you remember someone who has blamed you, as soon as you remember that incident, as soon as that person who has blamed you is coming here, immediately your senses change. Why is that? You think that still that person's blaming is happening. When you remember someone who has blamed you, as soon as you remember that incident, you may get upset. Why is that? You think that still that person is blaming you. But that person has blamed. It is finished. But still you are in the past experience. Why is that? You don't believe that experience has already ceased. A person can blame you once if you are ignorant. If delusion is in your mind, you are blamed again and again. A person can blame you once, but this delusion doesn't believe it. That is why you are blamed again and again whenever you think it. Buddhism has pointed out how we overcome this delusion or ignorance. The path that leads to get rid of delusion is that practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the second wholesomeness in Buddhism. According to the handout that you are given, we have explained the second wholesomeness. The great wholesomeness is mindfulness. What is the mindfulness? Mindfulness means the awareness of our body and mind. Body means our eye, ear, nose, these senses. And also mind means our thinking pattern. Our body and mind are impermanent. Impermanence means these senses arise at the moment. If we can pay our attention, awareness, mindfulness in this reality, by practicing mindfulness, we can keep our attention in the present moment. We are always aware of our body and mind. Whatever we experience, suddenly we look at inside. The ordinary people, when they experience something, they suddenly look at outside. Then their mind is fixed in outside because they have no mindfulness. That is why they are enjoying with outside things. That is why they are suffering when those things change. But we also can enjoy. Even though we practice mindfulness, it doesn't disturb us to get enjoyment. We can enjoy, but with understanding. Here, always we are aware of our body and mind. And also not only mindfulness, not only we live in the present moment, but we reflect on impermanence. Mindfulness is a very demanded good in the present society. We can sell mindfulness in the present society in the highest price. But we should understand Buddhist mindfulness is different. Buddha has explained mindfulness and mindful meditation. Both of them are very important. You know, a lot of people practice mindfulness in the current society. They always say that forget your past, forget your future, live in the present moment. That is their mindfulness. But it is not Buddhist mindfulness. Buddhism never says us to forget anything. If you forget something, it is a big mistake in your life. When we practice mindfulness, that, our memory gradually increases. Memory is not the fault. What is the fault? Fault means when we remember something, if we think that still it is happening, that is the fault. That is the reason of suffering. Memory is not the reason of suffering. Arhantas, enlightened persons, can remember their past lives too. Not only one or two, they can remember 500 great eons in their past lives. Memory is not the fault. What is the fault? Fault means whatever we think, if we think those things is still happening, that is the reason of suffering. That is the thing that we have to overcome. It belongs to ignorance. Ignorance means the ability of certainty, or we think is still there happening as permanent. That is the cause of suffering. By practicing mindfulness, we always keep our attention, our six senses, and six external objects too, like form, sound, smell, like that. All of them are impermanent. It means they are not ready-made things. We have nothing which are ready-made, which are pre-made in our spiritual world, in the supramundane level. In the conventional truth, we can see something which are pre-made, ready-made. But in the absolute truth, in the supramundane level, we have nothing which are permanent, which are ready-made. We always create our senses, objects, according to our present mental condition. Now, this recorder is common for you. This recorder is neutral for you. If I blame you with bad words, then your mind suddenly changes. Then when you look at me, you may get angry. Not only you may get angry with me, when you look at this recorder, you are angry with this recorder. But this recorder is same. And that is why I am saying that these external objects, even these objects, also change immediately when our mental condition change. Here there are only 8 human beings here, according to our present mental condition and according to our present eyes. When our mental condition changes, immediately our senses of our eyes change, and also we can see more people here, more beings here. This is the nature of our life. If we can understand this reality, always we keep our attention in the senses and external objects, and also not only that, we reflect on impermanence. Reflecting on impermanence is the highest quality that we should develop. What is that? I is impermanent, forms are impermanent, mind is impermanent, mental formations are impermanent, mind consciousness are impermanent. Like that, we reflect on it again and again as impermanence. Then, as soon as we experience something, we understand all of these experiences arises at the moment according to our present mental condition. When we look at these flowers, we know very well these flowers arise at the moment. You know, when I am here, I may think that this is artificial flowers. When I reach the flowers, I think these are natural flowers. According to our present mental condition, immediately the experience changes. When you look at there, you may think that all of flowers are artificial. But when you reach there, you can separate some flowers are artificial, some flowers are natural. Like that. Our whole experience also like that. That experience arises at the moment according to our present mental condition. Our entire life is like that. If we can understand this reality, we keep our attention in the present moment, we understand the experience arises and ceases. Then our mind is not fixed in outside things and persons. Why is that? We know very well this present experience are instant. This experience I have only this present moment. Suddenly it changes. The next experience is different. When you think this flower, your entire life is this flower. When you think about me, your entire life is in this person. When you think your mom, your entire life is your mom. When you think your brother or sister, your entire life is your brother or sister. At the moment, even you don't have your physical body. When you think your clothes, even at that moment you have clothes. When you think other things, at the moment you haven't your clothes. According to absolute truth. In the mundane level you have everything even though you don't think. But in the highest level, in the absolute truth, if you have something only when you think it. If we have this understanding, we don't depend on anything outside. We are only seekers. We are only seekers. We don't get anything as my mind, myself. But we can enjoy with others. We can experience. We can respond. But we don't have any attachment, big attachment. Then we have no suffering. This is the path to overcome decay, death and rebirth. Whenever you have this understanding, you have no aging or decay. Even though you have very severe sickness in your body, in this understanding, you are healthy, you have no any sickness. Even though you die at the moment, you are not suffering with death, because your mind is completely in this understanding, wisdom, thinking, reflecting on impermanence. According to Buddhism, the highest wholesomeness is that practicing mindfulness with reflecting on impermanence. Day by day, we should go forward as much as we can if we want to overcome suffering. One day, not only one day, every moment we are suffering whenever we think there is something outside. Even though we enjoy, actually we are suffering. We may think that we are enjoying with seeing flowers, beautiful persons, things. Actually, we have no real peace of mind. We have no real enjoyment until we realize this reality. If we can understand this reality, we can enjoy with anything or anybody without suffering. Now, we are enjoying, but those things change immediately. Our happiness changes. It is very easy to change our happiness at the moment because of ignorance. When we can overcome ignorance, we can enjoy, but nobody or nothing can disturb our peace of mind, because we don't depend on outside. Now we depend on outside. When I blame you, your mental condition suddenly changes. You are suffering. When these flowers are beautiful, you are happy. when those beautiful flowers going to decay or those flowers have a bad smell, suddenly your happiness changes because we depend on outside. If we have this understanding, when we see these things, the beautiful world, we can enjoy. When they change, we don't get suffering. This is the path that Buddhism has explained. This is the path that we have to practice again and again to overcome suffering and gain the real happiness, achieve the liberation. If we want to overcome suffering. And in the future, we have a lot of things to suffer. If you have friends, relatives, things that you think that yours, it means you are ready to cry. Daily you are getting food to cry one day. If you have this understanding, you are hurried to practice this message before you face those problems in your life. That is why when someone who is wise listening to this message, he is hurried to practice this message. Why is that? He wants to overcome suffering very quickly. He doesn't like to suffer. If our mind is fixed in outside, it means we depend on outside. Anybody or anyone can disturb our peace of mind. We should get away from this depending on, and also we should achieve a real liberation, freedom, making an unshaken mind by practicing mindfulness and mindful meditation. This is the thing that we are going to explain as the great wholesomeness in our life. The highest, the best wholesomeness in Buddhism is that practicing mindfulness, the awareness of our body and mind reflecting on impermanence. Whenever we practice mindfulness, reflecting on impermanence, at the moment we have no suffering. We are not controlled by anyone or anything outside. We are completely dependent on our wisdom, our understanding. For that, we have to practice virtue, discipline in our speech and behavior. Again and again, we have to practice the concentration meditation technique, such as loving kindness, breathing meditation. By practicing these meditation techniques, we should keep our attention in the present moment with a pure mind again and again. When mind is in samadhi or concentration, then we reflect on impermanence. Eye is impermanent, forms are impermanent, ear is impermanent, sounds are impermanent, smell is impermanent. Like that, finally, we have to reflect on only thing that mind is impermanent. The present thought is impermanent. The present thought arises at the moment, it immediately ceases. If we have full attention in this reality, at the moment we have no suffering. Our present thought arises at the moment, it immediately ceases. Arises, ceases. By thinking thus, we can do everything. We can fulfill our duties, responsibilities, we can do our jobs, we can go to school, we can do everything. While we are going to school, at the same time, we are getting rid of suffering. While we are going to our job, not only we are going to our job, we are going to liberation too at the moment, at the same time. Practicing Dhamma is like breathing in and out. Some people may think that we should practice Dhamma in the temple or in a meditation hall. In other sides we have to do our own duties. Buddhism is not like that. actually developing our spirituality is like our breathing in and out. We have to do only adding mindfulness to our mind. Mind with mindfulness is the best friend. Mind without mindfulness is that the worst enemy. We have to do only thing that to add mindfulness to our mind. That is the liberation. That is the path of liberation. That is the real refuge. That is the thing that Buddha says, Atta depa bhikkhave viharata saranana anya sarana. Dwell with yourself as an island with no other refuge. Your real refuge is your mind with mindfulness. Even though you have friends, relatives, other people, actually one day they separate from you. Not only one day, every moment they are away from you whenever you don't think them. Only you think something is yours. Whenever you don't think something at the moment, they don't belong to you. Even though someone has passed away, when you think that person, at the moment, that person is in your world, even though he or she has passed away. And this is the path that we have to practice day by day. We are so fortunate that we have a chance to listen to this message. It means you have done a lot of meritorious deeds in your previous lives. That is why you are here. That is why you are listening to this message. Not only that previous merit that you should have, here you have another qualities, intelligence or wisdom and active listening, honesty and effort to practice this message as much as you can. Then you can get the results from this message and you can achieve the real bliss of liberation in your life. For that, I wish you all the best. Have any question? Everything that we discussed in this handout, you can read them, you can improve your understanding. Especially, I have explained the benefits of practicing mindfulness. Buddha says, Ekayano ayam bhikkhave maggo satthana visuddhya. The only and one way to purify our mind for the purification of beings, and soka paridhavana samatikkamaya for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, dukkha domanassanam attangamaya for the destruction of pain and grief, nyaya sadhigamaya for the gaining of wisdom, nibbanasa sachikiriyaya for the attaining of nibbana, which is practicing fourfold mindfulness. Page number 3. And these are the benefits of practicing mindfulness. Okay? I think you can practice these things according to your understanding and your effort. For that, I wish you that may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all spiritual goal meet with success by the power of all these meritorious deeds that you acquired here. And also now the time to transfer the merits that we acquired here to our departed relatives and divine beings too. According to Buddhist tradition, whatever we do as meritorious deeds, end of our meritorious deeds, we transfer those meritorious thoughts to other beings too, who are wishing get some merits from us. And by the power of all these meritorious deeds, may our departed relatives also receive these positive thoughts, and may they enhance their spiritual energy. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives too, with reciting the Pali formula. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these spiritual energies, may guardian angels also receive these spiritual thoughts, and may they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsaṭṭhā ca bhummaṭṭhā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṁ anumoditvā chiraṁ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsaṭṭhā ca bhummaṭṭhā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṁ anumoditvā chiraṁ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsaṭṭhā ca bhummaṭṭhā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṁ anumoditvā chiraṁ rakkhantu tvaṁ sadā. By the power of all these spiritual energies, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantā ca niddukkha, bhayam pantā ca nibbhaya, sokam pantā ca nissokā, hontu sambe pipānino. May the triple gem bless you.